Hi, welcome to my channel, Past and Present. I'm Polly. I wanted to talk to you today about the families again of the past and how things went and what we're into kind of this time of our life, what we see in 2026, for example. And yeah, we know the world's going in a handbasket. We got that. But if you can actually look back, you will notice that years ago, the moms stayed home and the dads worked. So when children came home from school or, whether they were young, there wasn't a need to put them in any kind of daycare, which presently everybody puts their child in a daycare. Somebody's got to look after those children. While now people work and two people work. I found personally myself, it makes it very hard to try and find something that works for you and maintain the family balance. And I think today we need to look back at how do you maintain a family balance? I mean, how do you keep everybody happy in the relationships going on? How do you not forget an anniversary or somebody's birthday or a recital that's coming up? Yeah, we can put it on our calendar, but if we go to work that day, you may not remember that, your daughter or son has a recital or a play at school. And we all fight with those things in our head after the fact. Today, I think we can look back and take a picture of how they dealt with things before. And I think we can bring them back into the future and with good purpose of raising our children properly and not having to get divorced all the time. First of all, when you're looking for your significant other, one guide I always give now is, is there something you need to change in that person? Is there something you don't like? Why do you want to be with them for your life? Or sometimes it's only a year or two, but you could make it last if you had no need to change anything they were doing. And that works both ways. If you want a stable relationship, you pick someone that you really would be a best friend. And with that best friend, you can do a lot of things. You can get through a lot of things. I mean, I know a lot of people that have been best friends for 40, 50 years, but they can't get through a marriage more than 5 months, 8 years. They're done. They've been done years ago. And it's all because he said, she said, and things that go wrong. But when you actually look at the problem is that you weren't best friends to start. The pressure society puts on you is a big thing. You're wondering, like, how the heck do you feed your family, heat your house or apartment? Everybody gets beautiful gifts at Christmas. Like, look, there's so many wrong ways of doing things now because people think that's what they need. They want everything that the Joneses have, the old saying goes. And sometimes the Joneses don't or can't afford those things either, but they want to make it look good. And I think pride actually comes better now when you can deal with your family. You can have the love bursting at the seams with a family. And you just have to realize what things are going to be important for you. I would like to say, myself, I had a hard time sometimes through my divorce of having to do everything myself. I had two jobs, but I'm by myself. And I managed to do quite well, but I paid the price because I worked day and night. I was I usually tried to be as much in the house as I could. And usually it was during sleeping time that I would go out and work at night. And the years, of course, took its toll, but I was always here for everything. And I might have to skip out for an hour or two when the dad came home. But soon after that, as the children got older, they expected that I might have to go out for a few minutes here and there and it'd be an hour or two. But, then I was coming right back to help them with their lessons. and things like that. Meals always prepared. I made sure that when I worked nights, my butt was back in the house making breakfast for everybody and getting them off to school at the same time. And back then I drove them. So it was just going up so that I was getting exhausted. But I thought, if this is how we have to keep up, if this is how I have to feed the kids, so be it. And so I never not did it. I just did it. Now I look back and people often ask, like, how did you do it? I'm like, I don't know. I can tell you, I wish I knew sooner what I know now. I probably wouldn't have worked those two jobs. And yes, we could have gone out without a few things and it wouldn't have hurt us at all. But my husband expected that those things be there, and he had a high expectation of what we required, which to me was kind of sad because he worked for a big company. I didn't care. I mean, meant nothing to me. But he expected what they had. It's kind of a shame because they were millionaires. We were common folk. So, and I never had that kind of brought up in a family like that. So it was really hard for me to deal with to try to keep up. Um, One job just didn't seem to work for me, and the less he spent money on the welfare of the children in the house and groceries and whatnot, the more I had to put in financially. And we didn't make what we make now, but it was enough working two jobs to pay the bills and maybe have a little extra money left, which I always wanted to save and take the children somewhere, even if it was camping. Back then it was like, I don't know what, $25 for a site for a night. And we would go a couple of hours up the road to a great big beach place. And um, as soon as I got home from work on Friday afternoon, I would say, pack the trunk, hurry up, we're getting out of here. And I would usually be half ready on Thursday. And the children knew as soon as they got home Friday, we're going to grab something really quick. And mom's going to take us on weekend away. It wasn't that far, but getting the tent ready, cooking outside, getting to meet other people, relaxing and playing in the water and things like that. Those memories are hard fast into our heads. Like we used to talk about that all the time. Like, remember when, remember when. And that's the best part of having children and a family. You always have, remember when, like, we should do that again. And sometimes you do redo things. No offense, but blowing up a boat for us was, no, it wasn't a yacht. No, it wasn't a motorboat. It was a blow up boat. And that blow up boat meant so much. So we would take it on little rivers close to us so that sometimes during the weekend we could get out, not have to camp, not go away from home, but take an afternoon in the sun where I could blow it up with my little foot pump and three of us would all go. And it was a blast because we always took treats with us, things like that. And we had one place we looked at the cows who'd come right down to the river by us. And that was really exciting. So if you think that there's no way, you can do those things, I trust me, there's a way you can find to do those things, and the children would love it. Getting them away from those computers, their games, and the cell phones. I mean, there's no need for a child under 15, for example, to really be carrying yourself. Well, carry a cell phone for safety, yes. But to be on it all the time at the dinner table, out at restaurants, or with group, no. No, that's one thing I didn't allow. They had to go away from the table. Those cell phones were never brought to the table. And that was one of the things I totally agreed on. So that was one of our spots. So yes, there's things that we can do and you can do to help you get through, because I know what it's like I know I've counted pennies in the past. And people are like, no, you didn't. Yes, I did. And the kids helped me find pennies in the house, or dimes or nickels. And sometimes, some weeks, that was our loaf of bread or our 2 quarts of milk. And the rest I had to do with what I had in the freezer and the shelf. So I hope you like this video so far. And if you do, you can hit the like button, subscribe. And if you have any questions, thoughts, or comments, please leave them for me. And if you have any questions, I will definitely answer you back. Okay, so I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you. Hi.